Hey everyone, good afternoon. So we have a special guest today, and Jana.
Hi, everyone. And thank you, Raquel, for having me here. It's amazing. I've been
Yeah,
watching some of your talks with other people, and it's
yeah,
fantastic. I learned a lot about you, about them. It's a good thing to do.
yeah. I, I'm planning to have this to chill up data people. So I'll be featuring volunteers too.
Yeah, it's great. You help to inspire other people and other
Yeah,
people to learn about She Loves Data. So it's great.
yeah. So let's start. Kindly introduce yourself.
All right. So my name is Jana. I am living in Singapore since about it's going to be 10 years actually this year.
Mhm,
I've been born in the Czech Republic. I am a
mhm,
Swedish citizen. I have a French husband. And I've been doing a lot of stuff in the different parts of the world. And now Southeast Asia and Singapore is my home, where I've been working as a CEO of Meiro, which is a
mhm,
tech startup which I run together with my co-founders Pavel and V.
yeah,
And I've been as well running the nonprofit She Loves Data, and that's why we are here.
yeah. And the next question is,
Yeah, what's my motivation in establishing She Loves Data? Look, I've been so a little bit maybe more about me because I've been in tech
yeah.
and data for 2.5 decades. And
Oh,
yeah, time flies. And believe me, sometimes it's actually hard to believe to actually believe that it's been such a long time. So I studied
yeah,
computer science in Sweden, and
mhm,
this was like in the beginning of 90s. And in the beginning of 90s, in my class, we were 5 girls and 32 guys,
yeah,
and it
same.
was yeah, and it was actually really a huge fun. And I never thought about that, there is some kind of disproportion
Yeah,
in us being only 5 6, and the rest of the class was guys.
yeah,
um, and because in Sweden, the world is pretty equal. And I
yeah,
never had a feeling like that me as a woman, I
mm,
can't really do something because I'm woman.
yeah,
I grew up and, thinking like, you know, gender doesn't really, I didn't even think about gender.
yeah,
And that was fantastic. So then when I started to work in
yeah,
tech, I realized that, I was often the single woman in the room full of men. And I have to say that I actually faced some really strange comments. People were, asking me, "What are you doing here? Are you bringing us coffee?" And I was like, "Oh my God!" So it was a hard kind of awakening into the
yeah,
reality that the world is not so perfect. And I had to justify myself to be a woman in tech. So in so many levels, I have so many stories. I'm sure you've heard some of them on the She Loves Data webinars and panels. So when I came to Singapore, and together with Pavel, we started a data consultancy company. And we were kind of looking around, and there is this movement in the Czech Republic, which is called Czechitas,
yeah,
for girls and women to learn about data. And when we were looking around, we said we should have something like this here, because our day-to-day work was walk around organizations and talk to people about data, and why data is important asset for every organization, why every
yeah,
organization should have a data strategy.
Mm.
why data is so important when you are competing with your competitors, because understanding all the insights, and now we're working with the consumer data at Meiro with the customer data platform. It is about kind of realizing and turning data into the asset and the core of decision making in every organization, and it's a tough process.
Yeah.
So, and everyone needs to kind of be taking part in this process. So when I was talking to CMOs and CFOs and people in different positions, and they were, asking me, yeah, but like, this is not my area. And we were explaining, again and again that, yeah, this is your area because data is everyone's business.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
then, yeah, right? You agree, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And and then I realized that especially women in some discussions, when we started to talk about technology and data, they were, oh, I'll talk to my male colleague, and I'm not so comfortable with this. And so we said, let's do something about that. And to be honest, it was actually Pavel, my co-founder, who said, hey, you know what, let's do something like the Chiquitas girls do in the Czech Republic in Europe. Let's actually organize a workshop for women so we can explain this to them. And I'm like, wow, this is a really good idea. Then Pavel took off to Europe for some big wedding
Yeah.
and left me kind of in it. And so me and our CTO, we were sitting down, to be honest, we opened a bottle of wine and then we were brainstorming, what are we going to teach, women? What do they need to do? How do you even put together like a foundation
Yeah.
for data education? So we've put together some content. We, on the way, found some super smart people to help us out, like Steve Remington,
Mm.
who is a distributor for Yellowfin. People who kind of said like, wow, this is a cool idea. And we
Yeah.
put up the first workshop as a part of Data Hackathon. And when we were announcing it, we had so many women registering that it completely blew our minds and any kind of expectations, because we thought that maybe we'll have 20, 30 women and so on. And we had over 500 registrations then. So
Oh,
this is a
wow.
4.5 years ago. Isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is how we started. And then we thought it's going to be one-off event. But then, when you start something like this and you see such a demand, you can't just stop. You just continue.
Yeah.
And in a way, Raki, it actually became almost like a purpose of my life,
Yeah.
because every morning I wake up, I know that with all the, other volunteers like you and like, all the now more than 130, 140 people devoting their time, energy, to this movement, we change people's lives. We help people to build, careers for the future of jobs,
Mm.
because really tech and data starts to be important on every level for any career you have. So yeah, that's the story. It started without actually, and I think that's the beautiful part. It started without saying like, oh, let's build this big movement,
Yeah.
and it started with the small steps. And then, because we saw how passionate other people were about this topic and how important it was, when someone told us, actually last week I got an email and this girl told me, hey, I got a job and you guys helped me on the way with the power of the community, with the support systems, the questions you asked, the advice you gave, but as well the education I was able to get.
Yeah.
So I think this is exciting,
Yeah.
right?
Inspiring.
You are part of this, so
Yeah.
it's really
Um,
exciting. How long have you been with She Loves Data? Is it going to be a year, right?
uh, month, 5 months.
Isn't it more? Oh my God, it feels like you've been with us for at least a year. It's like it
Yeah.
feels like you've been part of the community for much longer than that. All right, okay, amazing, amazing. You made already, such a big footprint in the
Yeah.
movement. That's good. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, let's talk more about She Loves Data. Look, I can talk about She Loves Data all the time.
Yeah.
Can you cite one difficulty that you experienced? To be honest, it's not only one. Uh, life is full of difficulties, but
Yeah.
I believe that, if we have a smooth sailing and everything is perfect, we don't learn and we don't
Yeah.
evolve as a people. So the difficulties, and when it's starting to get uncomfortable, it is actually when we learn, when we, push the boundaries and we go a little bit into unknown and we go like, oof, you know, this is not really like, can I do it? And will, what's going to be the result? And stepping out of the comfort zone is really when we learn. So I think the difficulty with She Loves Data is coming now to the point where, we are all volunteers.
Yeah.
When we started this movement, Pavel and I, we were super clear. We said like, we don't want to make money on this ever. We don't want anyone, for the women out there, the education is always free. We want to keep it like that. We don't want everyone should have access to education. Um, so we realized that being volunteers, I've seen volunteers that they were so devoted and passionate that they actually almost experience burnt out because they usually have their day job, then they work, on She Loves Data. And sometimes it's hard to, stop when you see something is happening, and you are able to do so much more, but then you need to as well make money in the day job,
Yeah.
and you have a families often or someone to take care of, and you have your hobbies, and your life should not stop just because of this. So I think I would not call it the difficulty, but the next challenge is how do we make it to the next level? And I think you saw that we just posted that we want to have a new managing director, someone who's
Yes.
going to be full time focusing on running the show. And it's a
Yeah.
global show. We are in what, 17 countries now,
Yeah.
and with UK, it's amazing, right? We have the global community is growing. So my goal is to bring this movement as far as possible to as many women out there as possible around the globe. And it's a serious job. So I think someone needs to now take care of that as a full-time job. I will
Yeah.
do exactly the same what I'm doing, until now. I'm not giving up anything, vice versa, but I just need to have someone who's going to be next to me, you know, running the show and moving it to the next level. So that's about it. But there were many hurdles on the way, believe me. But
Yeah.
it's all okay. It's for the learning. Do you fulfill the vision you and Pavel have? So I think when we started, as I said, we really didn't have much of vision. Let's be completely honest, right?
Yeah.
So I already mentioned that. But as we went, we realized that we can really make a difference. We can really make a difference in people's lives, and I think this is almost like bigger than us.
Yeah.
The vision, the purpose, the goal is to lift up women. And when we lift up women, we lift up families with them. We make them independent, we give them more freedom. This means that if they have a proper jobs, and they can have a stable jobs with the help of tech and data, then we help local communities. And when you help local communities, you kind of help humanity almost.
Yeah.
So it sounds very um, you know almost like too much,
Yeah.
but I feel that this is the way. You need to start grassroots movements. with simple stuff, and it's like a ripple effect, as one of my friends is saying. You start small and the change can be massive. So that's our goal, and I feel like every time I hear about someone who went through our workshop, or even someone who got support through the network, and sometimes it's talking about new job opportunities, but sometimes it's like a mentoring between the members of the community, our volunteers. I feel that we are getting where we are supposed to be, but there is so much more we can do,
Yeah.
and that's exciting. That's what I want to focus on. That's my drive.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we are on a right track, I would say.
Yeah, we are.
We are, right? Pavel said that he just sparked your passion. What can you suggest to me as I'm starting my own movement, Young Change Makers? So, to anyone out there, I would say choose your founders or your team really well.
Yeah.
And Pavel and I, he's my business partner. This is like a third movement we do. So we started a data consultancy about 6 years ago
Mhm.
together. We used to work together prior that, but we didn't know each other much, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then we started Meiro, customer data platform. That's our baby now. That's our
Yeah.
focus. This is super exciting what we do. And she loves data, and I could not wish for a better partner in business. He is amazing. We are so different, and that's great because we can complement each other. And in times when it's not easy, and those times are always coming, life cannot be like just the walk through a rose garden and everything is happy,
Yeah.
right? You know that, right? We all know that. So when it's tough, you need to have the right support in your me founder or business partner, or someone who's there, because usually, and that's the funny part, people don't get at the same time those lows. So if I'm low, Pavel's usually pretty high, and then he can drag me up. When he's down, I can pull him up a little,
Yeah.
and then the support each other. And
Yeah.
that's so so important. So for you, if you starting a community, think who you have around yourself, who you surround yourself, who's going to be your partner, who's going to help you go when it's not easy, or life happens. So sometimes
Yeah.
you need to focus on something else, and you need to have a very good partner who takes over from you.
Mhm.
And so this is with Pavel, but it's about the whole She Loves Data, team. All volunteers are supporting each other, and sometimes that's why we have this system to have a buddy.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm telling to everyone out there: get a buddy, get someone who is there where you need to do some other stuff. That's super important in business. So that's a I would say rule number one. Rule number two would be, it's really good if this buddy of yours is different. Find
Yeah.
someone who complements you. Find someone who, has a completely different opinion. You cannot imagine then when us three founders of Meiro sit together. It's me. I'm almost a double the age of our third founder, B,
Yeah.
who is our CTO, and then Pavel. And the discussions we have are super engaging and great, because we are such a diverse group. We come from
Yeah.
different backgrounds, we study different stuff, we even like have a different work experiences. And then when we
Mhm.
put this together, it's pretty cool because we can tackle all the issues and problems that are coming our ways, but as well we can push each other to better results.
Yeah.
And we can always discuss to the details, where are we going, what are we doing, and the result is always better because we tested it, among us. And I think this is very important. It's critical. Don't start, I would say to all the people out there starting community, it's hard if you do it on your own. Get a
Yeah.
good people next to you. So do you have a good partner, Rocky?
I'm looking for.
Looking. Yeah. That's good. That's good. But I'm sure you will find someone, I
Yeah.
think it's important to, don't give up, and maybe the people will come along the way, but
Yeah.
keep looking. It's important.
Yeah.
Is it like blinking? Your impression of my volunteering stint in She Loves Data. Look, so you heard me in the beginning. I thought you are with us for a year. That says it all, because you made yourself so heard, seen, but through your work, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
Think about it. Like you are now such a critical core part of She Loves Data movement, with your work on the web, on the content, it feels like you've been there for a really long time. You've
Yeah.
been doing a great job. So for me, so let me tell you a story. Like I remember when Pavel called me, and it must be like sometime end of last year, and he was like, "Oh, Jana, did you meet Raquel?" And I'm like, "Yeah," because it was after our call that we had with all the volunteers, and then you introduced yourself, so I knew of you, but like I kind of met you as well online. And he was like, "Oh my God, she's amazing. She's doing such a great job, and it's fantastic." And he's not really much involved, although he's involved in your area. He's helping us with the web and with the
Yep.
strategies there. But at that time he had a lot on his plate with Meiro, so he was not that much involved like on daily basis. And he came and he saw your work, and that's amazing. So this is how I see this. And it's fantastic to have you on board, because you've been very devoted, you've been very reliable, accountable, and that's what we need. So yeah, pretty cool for 5 months, which look like it's 1 year. How do you feel? How has it been a good experience for you?
Yeah. You know, when business, because I'm kinda looking for some some volunteering jobs, and then select data come along.
Yeah.
So
But
and
tell me, how did you find us? Did you find us through some web, or did you do some social media post? How did you find She Loves Data?
um my colleague
Hmm.
introduced me to you because
All
she
right,
at,
true.
she attended a workshop.
All right, okay. So she attended workshops, then she came back
Yeah,
and said, "Hey, look at this."
yeah. And
That's
then
cool.
I I immediately signed signed in.
Yeah, I think it's cool. Like a lot of people come through referrals
Yeah,
that someone says, and this is great. This is how it should be. Yeah, it's really cool.
yeah,
Yeah, so I think that's the way it should be. People talk about She Loves Data, what they learned, and then they inspire
yeah,
other people around them.
yeah,
And this is how the community grows. And then if people have a volunteering, they feel they want to give back, right? Because I assume that
yeah,
was that was the way for you. So they
yeah.
say, "Hey, this is what we want to do." That's cool.
And I'm into IT right now because I'm focusing on data analytics. for my
Hmm.
thesis. So I would be needing your help.
Yeah, sure. Data analytics. But you did the certification program, right?
Yep,
With already, so I think this is as well exciting, that
yep,
you as a volunteer, you can take a part of all those exciting certification programs that are new to us, and
yep.
and I think it's great. Today, this morning, a new one started. Dashboard specialist together with Singapore Management University, TIPCO, and us. And I think they
Oh,
had around 200 people. So cool.
wow,
Yeah.
200.
And around 500 or 4 or 500 people registered. They had to kind of stop that. Yeah, and we don't promote it really much. It's very, very
Yeah,
popular. Was it difficult, the course, because you did the very first round?
it's difficult because I have a day job.
I know. When you have a day job, but I've heard it was kind of challenging. But because this is a university quality education,
Yeah,
it should be, and we give certificates, so it should be, testing everyone,
yeah,
and because like we want to represent the quality of the education we provide, there
mm,
has to be a certain, I would say, a level
yeah.
of difficulties, right? So when you pass it, hey, high five,
Hey,
man. Well done, well done. This is good. Cool.
I asked not
Ah,
to call
but you know what? I think I know what company you would like to work for. And then, because I think I've heard it in one of your video chats. Wasn't it?
Yeah,
Did I? Was it TikTok? Do I remember right, or something,
TikTok,
or was it? Or what was it? Tipco.
TikTok.
Tipco.
Yeah,
Oh, cool. Ah, so are you planning to take the certification of the next kind of? I think it's the next level,
yep,
which is coming in April.
yep.
Is it? Cool. Cool. Let me
I
make some
would
introductions.
do.
Because you know what? We are actually talking about making together with them some internships.
Yeah.
Cool. That's very cool. Okay. I made a little note here. So if you asked me, this is good. So what would you like to do there? Would you like to be a data analyst, as you said?
Yeah,
Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Look, I would tell any company um, that, because I see it with She Loves Data, that you are very devoted, you learn all the time. And I think in times like that, learning is so important because the technical and digital evolution is happening
yeah,
so fast. We all need to
but
learn all the time,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
There is no way you kind of stop.
yeah,
And I think we need to embrace that. And you've been incredible, all the time learning something new, and
yeah,
all the time moving. And I know that you are in tech, but as well you are a writer, right? You write
yeah,
books, novels, stories,
yeah,
blogs,
yeah,
and it's as well like evolving. And so I think it's important to have people who have, a various different areas of interest,
yeah,
because then when you have that, especially in data analytics, you can do a better job, I think. You can come up with a better results, better hypothesis.
mm,
So any company that actually, I would write a recommendation. I would say this is a girl who is very courageous. This is a girl who never stops learning. This is a girl who as well has her own independence, and that's very cool. And she's a excellent connector of people. Look, you are creating these video chats, and I think it's brilliant. I think it's
Yeah.
brilliant for people to get to know you. As you said, it's not so easy, and this way, I love it. I've been enjoying watching your other talks, and that's fantastic. So, this and those are exactly the characteristics you want to have in any team.
Yeah.
Those are important, I would say, and even more important as we are living in the online world. How do you make the
Mhm.
connections?
Yeah.
How do you actually, get to know people? And so I think it's going to be even more important as we go ahead. So anytime you need a recommendation, let me know. I'm ready to write one.
Thank you very much.
That's exciting, actually.
Yeah.
Oh. So if it would be a tangible like a gift, I think you are a geek at heart, and I think very practical gift would be a comfortable, luxurious
Yeah.
headphones, because we are spending so much time on all those calls and having like a Ferrari of headphones, like a really good, Sony or whatever brand. I think this is a great gift for any geek.
Yeah.
So that would be a physical gift. But I think as well, what is important is kind of to look at the non-physical. And I think what is incredible, and it's harder as we are kind of in a various lockdowns, and we don't see any possibilities to be able to physically meet. I
Yeah.
think the gift of friendship
Mhm.
is very, very important, to have people to talk to have people to call,
Mhm.
with the good news, but as well with the bad news.
Mhm.
It is very, very important.
Mhm.
And so I would support, the friendships around you, so that you never feel lonely or alone, that you always will have someone to reach out when it's a time to celebrate, but as well when
Mhm.
it's a time to breathe in and out and say, "Ooh, it's not working so well." So
Yeah.
there are people around you who lift you up and
Yeah.
support you and help you to get back on track. I think this is very important in times like that. Really,
Mhm.
really good network, really, really good friendships.
Yeah.
That's what I would wish you.
And you are my my friendship.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Look, and it's amazing, so we are living in this strange world right now.
Yeah.
And uh, and I've been thinking about you, because you've been living, in the online world, for a while. And us at Meiro, we are as well very used to. We always, from the very beginning, we actually had a remote work. So
Mhm.
we would work from anywhere in the world. We started our data consultancy with the data serve house in Bali, and yeah, because it was easier, and it was easier to hire people. We said, come for 2 months here, and
Yeah.
learn, and then you can work from wherever you want. So we did that for a while. So it was not such a surprise. But I think a lot of people are finding it hard to be, locked in the same rooms for a
Yeah.
really long time. And I think, the importance of friendship is actually in times like that, even, it's always important, but even more so now. And I think there is a good filter on relationships, because you are now testing what relationships are really true and what
Yeah.
relationships are lasting.
Mhm.
So yeah, always in a bad times we kind of get some outcome, which is interesting and positive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my next question.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you are living in a, being 37 is incredible age. It
Mm-hmm.
is the time when you are, getting really adult.
Yeah.
Okay. When you have experience, you've been doing so many things, so you've been learning from all your little mistakes. And you are, 37 is just a little step into 40s.
Yeah.
And I feel that this is a really good time to reflect on things that you've done, um, and think about where you want to go,
Mm-hmm.
what your future should be about. Because being, somewhere around 37, 38, 40, the value system is changing. And I
Yeah.
think there are different things that are important. And it's important to remember what you do today
Mm-hmm.
to be able to define where you go
Yeah.
next. And what I would tell you is to continue being the role model that you've been for many people. I think you are doing incredible and very important job to talk about, who you are, what you do, how your life is, because there are many people out there who, I think you wrote it somewhere, that it's important that people get to know you, that people understand who you are, because sometimes if they don't, they have a hard time to connect to you,
Yeah.
because they are, what do we do, how do we do that? And I think it's important that we have role models like you that are talking about, how it is to live life differently. This is a true diversity and inclusion, values tested. And to be honest, I share with you one story, because my sister has a daughter with disability. She's handicapped. She cannot walk. She
Ah.
communicates in her own way. She's gonna be 30, and so we've been, and my family, like, she's a member of the family, but often I see people that don't know her, that they
Mm-hmm.
are coming to her and they don't know how to deal with her,
Mm-hmm.
because she cannot express herself.
Yeah.
She is, not moving the way they expect. Nothing is normal, what is normal by their standards. And I
Yeah.
think what is very important is, and I always say, hey, this is a person. Just
Mm-hmm.
be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Talk like to anyone else. And but people don't know, because they maybe haven't been in this situation. And I think, you know it's important to tell this to people, to make
Yeah.
them feel comfortable. uh,
Mm-hmm.
and for me, what you are doing is so important for so many people out there,
Mm-hmm.
to show, hey, we are all different, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Be, just relax, be
Mm-hmm.
yourself. And that takes, again, courage. And I'm really, really admiring you for that. So, my message to you is, I admire you. Continue doing what you do. You are the role model for so many people out there. So thank you for that. And if I can help on your journey in any way, please let me know.
Yeah. I will.
I know you will, and that's the fun part.
Yeah. So thank you very much for the time.
Such a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me. It's an honor.
Yeah.
It's been great. So, before we go, I have a few questions for you. Okay, just simple.
Yeah.
Just like yes, no, or so that people get to know you as well a little bit better. Okay. So, your birthday dinner, do you have it with your family or with friends or mix? Family,
Mix,
friends, mix.
mix.
Mix. Okay. If you have a really special dinner, what do you eat? You eat local traditional food, cuisine from Philippines, or you go for something which is like new?
Mm.
New. All right. Okay. Let me see, because I have a few questions here. Um, so you are a learner. You study all the time. If you, how do you motivate yourself? Is it because you see some goal where you want to go, or is it because you enjoy to learn new things and inspire yourself? What is it? What makes you going?
Um, both.
Both. So the momentary learning, and then as well the goal to get there.
Yeah. Oh,
Mhm. So if you could choose a new topic, and I give you three, it's a technology,
mm,
literature, or something that is a completely new trend. What would
um,
you go and learn?
nutrient.
New trend. All right. In what field? Any field.
Anything.
So cool. This is so cool. Okay. Is it still lockdown in Philippines?
No.
No? Is it now all okay?
Uh, like, because we are coming to the office now.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, if you, for your 37th year,
No.
if me and you, me and I, me and you, we meet in 1 year, and you tell me about your year,
Mhm.
and then you tell me that you had one achievement, that you achieved something, one dream that came true in this 1 year, what would that be?
Be aware. Be aware.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I had one more question, but you already answered that, and it was how you got into She Loves Data. So it was a true
uh,
colleague.
uh,
Uh, with She Loves Data, so let me have a final questions. With She Loves Data, you work with the web and you help out really incredibly. Is there any other kind of thing you see we can do better with She Loves Data from
uh,
your perspective?
I think fundraising for like merchandise for
Mm-hmm.
sales data. And then before I have been telling me this for a couple of times that
Okay.
we could have books like
Oh,
a coffee table book
yeah.
for for picturing the volunteers and
Ah,
picture you and Pavel. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I know. So, kind of to show faces of the volunteers
the
and the faces behind the movement. That's a
the
super good idea. Let's do that.
the
Well, but you know what it means? It means more work for you.
it's okay.
Shall we like high five that this is our like next one? All
Mm,
right. That sounds fantastic. I love it. I love it. Always like innovate, always come up with the new ideas. I love
yep.
that. Yeah. Hey, Raki, thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure. I really enjoyed myself. I
Thank you
hope
very
that
much.
it's really, it's me. saying thank you. And I hope that one day, not really in a too distant future, we will be able to meet when we can travel,
Yeah,
like do the high five in a
yeah.
real time, okay? In person. That's gonna be fantastic. So this is what I'm looking forward to.
I have, I have fun there.
Yeah, absolutely. Me
Yeah.
too. I'll do it all. All right. Thank you so much. Have a good
Thank you.
evening. Enjoy your rest of your weekend, and I'll see you soon. For
And
now,
you.
online.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you
Bye.
very much. Bye.
Bye, Rocky. Have a good evening.